Okay, guys, welcome. It's a pleasure having you here again. Yes, indeed, Tolu of CSA Forex. And of course, I just want to give you an update of what has been happening. Well, nothing much has been happening of late. The market has been a bit quiet. And I'm just going to breeze through the majors and the gold quickly, just to breeze through and then show you what is happening. And then we see whether we can get an opportunity or two, right? As I said, nothing much is happening. I'll just quickly flip over to the calendar that we have on Forex Factory. And as you can see, based on all the impacts here, they're all yellow. It is low impact. So more or less based on the calendar, we're not expecting that much volatility, but anything can still happen in the market. So of course, you need to tread with caution, ensure that your stop loss is still in place, right? Some traders use the mental stop loss. It's not a problem, but just make sure that you know what you are doing because anything can happen at any time. Now, this is a quick one on the Euro USD. If you want, you could zoom in on the charts. It's your choice because people might be saying, hey, I can't see the candles. Is it forming a pin bar? Is it forming an engulfing hammer or whatever? Well, I'm not really bothered with the formation of the candle because if you are aware, if you're using different brokers, most likely a hammer here might look like something else in another broker. So you pay more attention to the area of interest. So look at what we have over here. This is a quick one, as I said. Euro USD is so far so good. We had this sort of head and shoulders pattern over here from earlier, and then it seems to be more or less in a range now, right? It seems to be moving sideways, and of course, who knows? It might still range sideways for a little while because nothing much might happen today. But let's see if we can get a sell position down to this point or buy position up to here, right? You need to look for clues in the market in order to give you, a better view of what to do. One thing I'll tell you, looking at what we have here, I'll just mark out this area here. If you take a close look, you should be able to see a form of resistance here, support, resistance, support, resistance, some resistance, support, resistance here. So this area too, something should happen. So I'm expecting it to drop. One thing I also want to say before I proceed, I should have said this at the very beginning as a disclaimer, please do not use this video or any of the videos as a form of signal for you to place trades. Please, I repeat, make sure that based on what you are doing, right, that your stop loss is always in place and then your risk is well calculated. Very, very key, very, very important. So from what we have over here, let's pay attention to this and see how it goes. And this is Euro USD. Cable, GBP USD. GBP USD, not sure that you've been paying attention to Boris Johnson and the vote of confidence. He survived it. He's still the prime minister for now. For now, let's see what happens tomorrow. But hey, he's still there. Pounds is still kicking. And of course, looking at your levels from what I have over here, price seems to be stuck in between here, this area, and also this area here. These are the areas I'm watching over here. And if you look, we had a sort of false break, and then it rushed back in. Look here, resistance, resistance, support, support. When drawing your support and resistance areas, right, you should always pay attention to how the market is moving, right? Up, down, up, down. This is going to help you to pick out your levels and, of course, be able to help you to approach them appropriately. Now, looking at what we have over here, as is back inside this area, I would like to see price use this area as a form of resistance. So if it pulls back, we already had a little pullback here, but if it pulls back again, I will be ready to pull the trigger to sell it, to take it back down to at least the 1.2470 area of resistance, or you could call it flip zone, as you normally see support, support here, and then resistance. Flip zone is basically an area where you have it act as support and resistance, right? In order to keep this video as short as possible, let's just breeze through. AUD USD seem to be stuck between these areas here, but of course approaching this area here. Is it going to bounce, right? Or is it going to break out and use it as a form of resistance to drop further? And one thing I would say is that the AUD/USD and the NZD/USD, the Kiwi, they tend to move alike. They tend to move in the same manner, so you could take advantage of any of them. While the dollar Swizzy, you've heard this too many times before. I say this over and over again. Euro USD and the dollar Swizzy, they're more or less opposite. They're like brothers and sisters. If Euro USD is going up, then you should be expecting the USD CHF to be going down. And you can see where it is here at this area of resistance. You can see resistance is seriously battling with it. It's going to give us this movement, right? If it does, then this will be where to pay attention to try to get an entry on the breakout, right? That is for the dollar Swizzy. Dollar yen, I feel I need to do a single video on this dollar yen. The dollar yen has been a bit crazy of late. And this one, permit me to just quickly switch over to other time frames. That was the 1 hour time frame, and this is the 4 hours time frame. I like the 1 hour time frame a lot, by the way. It's easy on the eyes, but then I tend to move to the higher time frame and also lower time frame. But 1 hour in the middle is very, very conducive for trading, right? Trust me. Looking at this from the 4 hours time frame, what can you see? Obviously, you could see this crazy move to the upside, and it doesn't seem to be looking back, right? But of course, you should be able to see a lot of divergence inside this bullish move on the dollar yen, and of course also on the daily time frame. You can see this strong move. It's actually proceeding. You can see the same thing on the weekly. It's actually proceeding to this area here on the monthly time frame. You can see this monthly time frame over here, just marking it out here. This here is the 134, 135 area of resistance. So probably when it gets there, we should get some reaction, and then maybe see if we can get to sell here on the lower time frame. That is, you know, when you're using the higher time frame, it's just for directional bias, basically, to give you an idea of what to look out for, right? And this is the dollar yen. The dollar card has been dropping. And of course, if you're paying attention to the crude oil with the war in Ukraine, of course, there's no resolution, no agreement whatsoever. War is still ongoing. And I believe they just resumed bombing again or fighting again in Kiev. That's the state capital in Ukraine. And with that said, the demand for crude is going to continue to appreciate. As the demand for crude continues to appreciate, expect the loonie, which of course CAD is the fifth largest when it comes to oil production. And of course, the loonie, USD CAD, CAD would obviously be dropping. So it's for us to look for opportunities to sell, either where it is here, or we have a pullback to this area here, and then we look for sell positions, right? Also ensure that you make sure that the risk to reward ratio is favorable to you as well. And finally, gold, right? Gold, I would really love to do a full piece on this gold, because if you look at the higher time frames on the monthly, you'll be able to see better what is happening based on the price action that we have here. From this weekly, this is what I'm looking at here. This struggles over here, and of course, these highs over here. It's more or less in the middle of nowhere. If you drop down to the daily, you might probably see it's looking really, really dirty here. So if you want to take advantage of this gold, obviously you need to go down to lower time frames. It might even need to be lower than the hourly. You might need to start scalping. Yes, you might need to become a scalper. That's why you need to, first of all, understand the type of trader that you are. Are you a scalper, day trader, swing or position trader? And of course, know the best time frame for you to make use of. Traders normally ask me this question: what is the best time frame to use? It depends on the type of trader that you are. I can't tell a scalper to be using a monthly time frame, obviously. So you need to know the type of trader that you are, and then you determine the what's it again? The time frame to use. Sorry, that got stuck a bit. And you determine the type of time frame you're meant to use to trade. So this is just a quick one, just breezing through on the majors, and of course gold. Maybe later tomorrow we could talk about crude. We talked about crude based on the appreciation, the demand, and this crude also I need to do a video, a single video on the crude alone, right? And then we'll talk about some other things. We can talk about Netflix, what has been happening to Netflix this year. It's crazy. Well, look at the chart for yourself. Let me zoom in a bit so that you can see what I'm talking about. I don't really know why people are not talking about the Netflix. This is the one-way traffic. This took out everything from, of course, from 2020 when we had the pandemic. It has swallowed everything, all the gains. I'm sure they're probably laying off staff and doing some other things, right? But we'll do, strictly a video for like the Bitcoin too, or for the dollar yen or the crude oil, Netflix, and so on at a much later time. I need to wrap up now. Not sure how many minutes I've used. Sorry, it is a bit lengthy, but I want to try and be doing this on a regular basis. Let's see whether I can be doing this on a daily basis for you to get this information out there for you to be able to digest and then to become one with the market. By the way, I have a challenge. I have a workshop coming up on the 20th of June. Yes, the 20th of June. I'm so excited about it. It's actually going to be a free workshop for 5 days. 5 days. I'm there for 5 days. I'm going to show you everything I do, my daily routine, looking at the market, and of course for you to be able to take advantage of it as well. And it's a good thing that you stay tuned to the end of this video. People don't stay to the end. As you're watching this video to the end, of course, the best is always at the end. So you can sign up. I'm going to drop the link to sign up in the description below. Sign up, share the video, this video with anybody, share the link with anybody that will be interested. Trust me, they're going to learn a lot. We're going to talk about how to develop the right mindset, the right attitude, the right psychology of the business. We're going to look at the ingredients of a successful trader, the things you need to put together, right? And of course, trust me, you'll be well enlightened. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. It has indeed been a pleasure. Once again, my name is Tolu. If this video was helpful, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please subscribe. Turn on the notification so that you are aware when next we do a new video such as this. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye and God bless. Cheers.